So here we are, Joan and Ken are back with the Stewarts all over the place. This week we're in Pensacola, Florida on Santa Rosa Island at the Fort Pickens Campground. And right now we're at the Fort Pickens National Monument or National Park. And it's an interesting place if you like beaches, if you like fishing, if you like military history. It's kind of has a little bit of everything. What do you think?
I think we were here earlier today. This is on Santa Rosa Island, by the way, and earlier today we were here watching the Blue Angels do an air show, which I think they do weekly. You can look on the website and see when it is, but we lucked into that. We hadn't really expected it, which helped me to realize that one of the things you need to bring on this trip is binoculars. We've decided to keep some binoculars in the Jayco Hummingbird. We are on week 7 of our travels in the Jayco Hummingbird now, and the binoculars have really come in handy because this campground is surrounded by osprey, large osprey, and this is second week in April, and they are nesting, and there are huge nests everywhere. The birds are really beautiful here. So as you can see, we're in a beautiful place. The wind is blowing. The other thing I've decided that I rarely go anywhere without a scarf anyway, but this kind of a sarong scarf is really handy for wrapping around your bathing suit if you're brave enough to go in this wind, or putting it around your neck if you want to take a little bit of the chill off. So you want to talk a little more about the campground itself?
Well, the campground, and we'll have some pictures of that, is fairly large. It's broken up into a number of separate loops, and we were kind of lucky even getting a place. I only checked about 2 weeks ago and found one campsite here that was available for more than one day. And I think that's kind of typical for the Florida coast this time of year. So if you're interested in coming here, you need to check with Reservations America and see what's up and see when you might want to come. The weather today was absolutely beautiful for mid-April. Last week, or earlier in the week, I'll put it that way, forget what day it is always. Earlier in the week when we got here, it was cloudy, and it was cloudy and cold all day yesterday. But I kind of liked walking on the beach in the cold. The water's not that bad once you get into it.
And I was picturing a Florida beach with a pina colada in one hand and sitting on a beach chair under an umbrella reading a good book. It was too cold to do that. So.
And what else?
Check the weather.
Yeah, check the weather. Unless you really like the heat, then anytime during the summer works great.
Works great. The campground it's large, and it has a lot of campsites, and so this is, I think, the most crowded one we've been to. But we've only been to, this is only our 4th campground. This is the first national park campground. The beach that you can walk to from the campground is incredible. I don't know what it would be like in the summer, but there aren't very many people that have access to that beach, I don't think, and so it's quite beautiful. There are some nature walks from the campground that you can walk over to the beach, or walk to some of the fort kinds of, what do you call them?
Well, there are various batteries around here, and that's what's kind of interesting about the military history. The fort dates back to 1834, but it was used as lately as World War II, and there were gun emplacements, new ones built and torn down all during that time. There were Civil War battles fought here. It's interesting if you're interested in military history. If you're not that interested in the history, then you have the Pensacola Naval Air Station just across the bay here, and that's where the Blue Angels are located, they operate out of. And like Joan said, it was quite an air show. They practice on a Tuesday or Wednesday, kind of depending on the weather, about 11 o'clock in the morning when they're in this part of the country or the world, because I think they travel everywhere. But you could check their schedule also if you're interested in that, and you can go on the Naval Air Station itself and be right up close and sometimes meet the pilots and so on. So if that's your thing, it's great. And I don't think you can see in back of us, but there's a fishing pier and there's people with fishing poles all over these beaches. And if you just want to go fishing, hey, you got the Gulf on one side and the Sound on the other side, and there's plenty of room and plenty of fishing boats available that you can charter and go out on. So if you anything from just sitting on the beach to working hard with history and fishing, it's all here, and it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I think this Fort Polk area is really a little Pickens, sorry. I'm in Florida now, not Louisiana. Fort Pickens is really a quiet area in a lot of ways, and Santa Rosa Island is certainly more quiet than Pensacola is. So we really haven't done any of the kind of Pensacola party bar hopping spring break scene. We've been hanging out at the campground and staying a little farther away from the crowds. But hope this helps you if you're thinking about a trip to this part of the country.
Yep, stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll be back probably from someplace else,
all over the
but
place.
we don't know when.
Happy travels.